We're live.
We are
Hello,
on the
YouTubes.
internet. Okay.
Coming to you live on the internet. Logan Moore here with McDonald's chicken nuggets. Because when you're hungry late at night, you want McDonald's chicken nuggets. And when you want to get fat, you eat McDonald's chicken nuggets. Millennial Gaming Speak, proud sponsor of McDonald's.
And then
So, you ready to record this episode?
I am ready to record.
Cool. Welcome to our E3 predictions episode, everybody. We're going to clap in here for MP3 and then we'll get going. So in 3, 2, 1. Hello, friends, and welcome to a very special episode of Millennial Gaming Speak. This is our E3 2016 predictions episode. I think we had one of these last year, but it may have just been under a regularly numbered episode.
We did, yeah. It was our topic of the show.
That's what it was. So I am Logan Moore, your host on this wonderful gaming podcast journey, as always. The other person who just spoke up there is Max Roberts, the wonderful
That's
Max
me.
Roberts. And so yeah,
M to the A to the X to the R to the O to the B to the E to the R to the T to the S.
That was a trip going on that
It was a
spelling
journey
with you.
I want to take you. I'm going to take you to a special destination called Max Roberts E3 predictions. Straight fire this year. They are bomb diggity.
I'm not loving my predictions, mainly because I wanted to have some outlandish stuff, but I just don't know if it's going to be that kind of E3 this year. I think we know a lot of the stuff going in that's going to happen. So I don't know. This is an interesting E3. I'm really excited to see what all of the companies do, but there's definitely less excitement surrounding this one, I think. And don't get me wrong, I'm pumped just like I am every year, but it's definitely more low key this year than I think we're used to, and that's been a topic of conversation in the industry recently, actually.
And that's because all the surprises are going to come hit you square in the face during those press conferences.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny that E3 is getting smaller, though. And I mean, I've heard a lot of people talk lately about, does E3 even still matter? I definitely think it matters, but there's so many shows out there now, and so many companies are taking their marketing in their own hands at this point, with Nintendo doing their own directs, and PlayStation now has PlayStation Experience every year where they announce mini games.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got that confused with the E3 experience. I was like, that's just a stream of the actual show.
No,
never mind.
No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
PlayStation
Sony,
press conference.
PlayStation Experience, in December of every year. So I feel like more companies are starting to craft their own marketing instead of going to E3 and feeling like this is a requirement. Obviously, most of the big companies do still. Nintendo, I guess, really isn't this year, which is interesting, and we'll get into that in a moment. But so basically, the basis for this episode, we're going to throw out our predictions for mainly the big three. I'll tell you more about that in a second. We're going to just predict what we think is going to happen next week at E3. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's fun. It's something fun we like to do. See if we can get as many right as we can, and we come back next week and see how we did, and see what we got right, what we got wrong, what we were completely wrong about, and see. I don't know. We'll get into it.
I've been looking forward to this one for a good while.
I have been looking forward to this too. We were pumping out quite a few episodes lately, and it's been quite enjoyable. So, like I said, we're going to stick with the big three, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. You may be saying to yourself, why are you doing Nintendo? Because we kind of wanted to predict what we think. Yeah, Max pushed for it. We want to try to predict what we think we're going to see from the Zelda trailer. And I don't know what Max has got up his sleeve.
It's not just the trailer. It's the demo. It's the whole Zelda presentation.
Demo. I meant to say demo. Yeah, I meant to say demo. So we've got a couple of things we want to see from the Zelda demo and stuff. And as far as third parties go, this year EA is not really at E3. They're kind of having their own event the Sunday before. E3 is kind of starting on Sundays now, which is a little bit of
it's like Black Friday. It really starts on Thursday.
Yeah, so E3 is almost starting on Sunday now, with Bethesda and EA both having press events on Sunday. So we were going to do predictions for them. We decided not to. Max doesn't have any predictions for them. Again, though, I think everything for them is pretty self-explanatory. EA is going to show you Mass Effect. They're going to show you Titanfall 2. They're probably going to talk about Battlefront upcoming DLC. I would guess that's where you get to
Are
next.
they gonna show that all-terrain sports vehicle game from like 2 years ago where they did the mini doc on?
I
You
don't
remember
remember
that?
that one. No,
It
I don't
was
remember
the
that.
year they revealed Mass Effect Andromeda.
I'm trying to think about it in my
It was that year
brain.
where
Like,
every press event had like this behind the scenes vid doc that didn't even show any gameplay footage, just people talking about their game.
I'm not sure. I honestly can't remember that one. That one slipping my mind right now. So I'm not sure if we'll see that. Um, anyway, yeah, the main thing with EA's is, again, Titanfall and Mass Effect. That's what everybody's coming for. We know Titanfall's coming out later this year. They've shown us a teaser. We know there's going to be a campaign with it now. I guarantee you they highlight that. Mass Effect, I bet they show us 10 to 15 minutes of gameplay and a new trailer and things like that. I really think Mass
Oh, you
Effect's
think
going
we
to
get a
be
very lengthy Mass Effect demo?
I think they're going to show us. I think they're going to show us what's different. I feel like they have to show off the new gunplay. They have to show off the new, just the world, because the entire world of this game is going to be drastically different from the last one. So I think Mass Effect's going to be the meat and potatoes of their show. I think they're really going to highlight it.
They're gonna have a
Titanfall 2
Pele
as
interview
well.
again.
Maybe they'll interview Pele, ask him what he thinks about the Geth and what he thinks about the Reapers, and if the Reapers are going to be able to touch them over in the Andromeda Galaxy. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, yeah, and then again, like Max said, they'll talk about their sports games, obviously, at some point. So, but again, Mass Effect and Titanfall 2, I think we agree those are the two big ones that they'll be showing. Ubisoft is the other one. Watch Dogs 2, South Park, Ghost Recon. I think those are the big three that everybody's looking forward to.
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, Max is hoping for Splinter Cell himself. I don't know if we'll get that. I don't know what to really predict for them. It will probably at some point, but not sure when.
They need it. Give me that Blacklist of remaster, and
Blacklist remaster. Come on.
Oh my goodness, I'd die. And then give me the new one. Come on, you can do it, Ubisoft.
Yeah, so Ubisoft's probably going to talk about those 3 games, Watch Dogs 2 for sure, especially since that's coming out in November of this year, most likely. And then, yeah, I can't really think of anything else they would talk about. Just Dance, yeah, whatever. Of course, they've always got games like that. I'm sure they'll show us the new iteration of the Rabbids franchise and things like that. Ubisoft's press conference is always hit or miss. I would just be happy with seeing some Watch Dogs gameplay and getting a release date for. I actually had a release date written down for South Park, and I have it as March 2017. That was actually one of my predictions.
March 2017.
Yeah, I think it's going to come out around the same time the first one did, at least in terms of like time.
I think it's this year.
I think Watch Dogs is this year already. I think Ghost Recon's aiming for this year. I think it'd be weird if they launched 3 games on top of each other.
Nope. I think South Park's this year.
Something's got to jump Maximilian.
It's gonna be that Ghost Recon.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They need the extra 5 months to downgrade the graphics.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if
you're forgetting The Division.
Yeah, that was the other thing I was gonna say. Thank you. That was the thing I was thinking of a second ago. They're definitely gonna gloat about The Division because it's their new.
How can they gloat about it? It's doing very poorly right now.
Because it was the fastest selling new IP in the company's history. So they're gonna show you the new DLC and the new expansions and tell you why you should keep playing it.
You think we've seen Assassin's Creed teaser?
I hope not. No, no, I don't think we do at all. I think they
see that Egypt. You don't want to see that Egypt?
No, I think they shove the movie down your throat for a second, but I don't think we get anything. I don't think we get anything game wise. I think when they said they're not showing anything this year, they're not showing anything.
They said they weren't launching anything this year. They didn't say they weren't showing anything.
With Watch Dogs, though, I think they're trying to prove that they can reveal something and then release it a couple months later, and it'll sell well. So I think they're really going to want to. And they should be shoving Watch Dogs hard this year. Don't get the people's minds focused on Assassin's Creed when you said you're not going to be touching that this year. Focus on Watch Dogs. Really prove to a bunch of people who didn't hate but also didn't love the first game in the series why this needs to be a franchise that they care about going forward and why this is your next Assassin's Creed of sorts. So I really think they need to push Watch Dogs hard. We'll see what happens with that trailer that comes out tomorrow morning. But I expect Watch Dogs is going to be the centerpiece of their press conference. And hopefully we do see South Park because I'm looking forward to that one the most. Bethesda is Sunday as well. This was the one I had no idea what to think about, but tons of rumors hit the internet earlier today to where I think Shinobi talked about like everything that he is almost sure it's going to show up at the press conference. And if some of these things happen, Max, I know that I said we weren't going to really predict the press conferences, but I figured we'd break them down each if you're okay with this.
I have nothing to contribute on them because
I figured we'd run it. I figured we would run them down.
I don't really care for EA. Ubisoft's the only one that really makes games I play. And
you don't care for EA? I actually really like
EA. EA makes sports games.
Oh, they also make tons of other stuff though. They're great. I really like EA. EA gets.
I'm sorry, they make your Dragon Age and your Mass Effect. They make a
ton of stuff. They make Dragon Age. They publish Dragon Age, Mass Effect. They all Star Wars games now. Titanfall, Dead Space.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
Where's Dead Space? Give me a good Dead Space. I'd come back for I'd come back for a Dead Space 4, or even just a complete, just like a reboot. I'd like to see a reboot. Not with Isaac or anything. Just that world. I'd love a space horror game.
Yeah, I think EA's solid. I don't know why people trash on them all the time. I know they kind of.
I don't trash on them all the time. It's just
no, not you. I'm saying the internet as a whole does. So yeah, I don't know. I like EA.
Sports, it's in the game.
And then they've got the sports games, but you can ignore them like 95% of other gamers do. Bethesda's conference. They're coming back this year. They were here last year. Everybody knew they were going to show off Fallout. Kind of wondering what they're going to show off this year, but like I said, Shinobi revealed earlier that not what he thinks, but probably what he knows is going to be shows, because that dude is spot on with everything. So up front, we can expect to see Dishonored 2, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. That comes out later this year in November. And then the four things that Shinobi listed, a couple of which I had predicted myself before he mentioned them. Evil Within 2, I've been expecting to show up I expected to show up at this point. I bet we see that Sunday. He said that will be there. Won't be surprised to see it. Didn't try to play the first one, really didn't care for it. Wolfenstein, I bet we see the next game in the Wolfenstein franchise. Machine Games made the last one. They really brought the franchise. They brought some glory back to the franchise. I bet we see the next iteration in the Wolfenstein franchise. Shinobi also said we would see that. He also said, be prepared for Bethesda to announce Skyrim Remastered, which...
No. Oh, gosh.
Would be nuts, which would be kind of cool. I mean, Bethesda's already been up front and said they made the game. So, like... not the entire game, but they said that was the first thing they did when they started working on Fallout was
they ported hype again. I don't need any of that.
It'd be fun. I don't know if I'd play it. I love Skyrim, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I won't play it.
Oh, thanks, Max. Fresh hot takes from Max Roberts. Yeah,
the freshest, the hottest, the spiciest.
Did you ever even try to play it?
It was loaded on my PS3 against my will, and I played the intro. And then I promptly deleted it.
Why do you hate it so much?
I don't like it. I don't like Bethesda games.
At least you never tried them though.
The signature. I don't like the way they look. I don't like the way they play. I don't like
saying you don't like hamburgers, but you never eaten a hamburger before.
Yeah, but if I don't like the way something looks, I'm not gonna eat it. I look at a green vegetable, I go, I'm not gonna eat you.
Green vegetables are good. Broccoli's dope.
Oh, broccoli's gross.
Well, it'll look better.
Smothered in cheese.
It'll look better now, Max, because it'll be Skyrim Remastered. It's really fun. Like, if you can, like, they're popular for a reason. Like, I know you say you don't.
Oh yeah, I'm dead. Oh, 100%.
They really are phenomenal games, and I challenge you to expand your palette and try one out at some point if you ever get a chance, because they're fun.
I'll be sticking with. The Witcher
but the way you're. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You poo-pooed The Witcher before it came out, and then you got kind of thrust into that. You kind of did. You were hesitant.
I'm not. I've said openly, though, I'm not an open world fan. That's not bad on The Witcher. I did not bash it. I didn't know anything about The Witcher until I was assigned it.
That's what I'm saying. You didn't really like.
I didn't know anything about it.
But you've said before that The Witcher was a game tailored to the things that you didn't think you'd like.
I didn't think I'd like The Witcher.
So I feel like if you try a Bethesda game, you may like it more than you think, and maybe you'll learn that you like broccoli. So I don't know. Skyrim remastered would be interesting.
Sounds gross.
Kind of sick of remastered games, but whatever. And then the big one for me, Prey 2. I never played the original Prey. Prey 2 sounded like something completely different, though, that you didn't need to play the first one to understand. If you have followed this game at all, you know that it was revealed at E3 about 5 years ago. They showed a gameplay, they showed a trailer and a gameplay demo. It looked phenomenal. You're a bounty hunter in space, hunting down crazy aliens and shooting people left and right. Looks awesome.
Metroid.
Looked like one of the most, 10 times better than Metroid. There's no bounty hunting in Metroid. That's what I always have thought.
She's a bounty hunter.
What's she bounty hunting?
Well, there's other bounty hunters she bounty hunts in Metroid Prime, but she also hunts down the space pirates and Ridley and the Metroids.
Yeah, and when does she get paid for it?
Oh, you don't see that getting paid.
Then she's not a bounty hunter.
You don't see, just because you don't see it doesn't mean she's not. She is clearly a bounty hunter because it says Samus Aran, bounty hunter.
Guess I'm Logan Moore, bounty hunter. You'll never know. If I tell you I am.
Nintendo says she's a bounty hunter. She's a bounty hunter.
I'm a bounty hunter too. It's my new title. Anyway,
Print some business cards. That'd be cool.
Prey 2 got famously canceled, or like it just went into development hell, and a bunch of people were disappointed, myself included. I thought it was one of the most original games I'd ever seen at E3 a couple of years ago. Shinobi's saying that the game's going to come back completely different. It's Prey 2. I don't know if it's going to have the Prey 2 name. Probably will be a new franchise and a new title and all that good stuff. But it sounds like the game that we originally saw a couple of years ago is still going to be living in some form. And I think it's smart of them to make it a new series because, Max, I'm going to guess you know nothing about Prey because I don't either. All I know is that it was a launch title on the Xbox 360, something about space aliens, and it wasn't a well-received game. And then Prey 2 came around and kind of blew everybody's mind when they showed it off. And yeah, so
I'm looking at it right now. That's what I'm doing on my phone. Sounds like it was revealed around 2007.
Really?
2007.
I think the last time we saw it was 2011.
Possibly. I could be completely wrong.
The last time we saw it was 2011 at E3. I know for sure because I watched like a 14-minute gameplay trailer on it earlier. As soon as I heard they made...
I'm sorry. It was announced in March 2014, 2011. So it was announced in 11. My mistake.
Okay.
Yeah,
you should look up
then
gameplay.
There's a whole...
Just look up the gameplay trailer for it later if you get the chance, and you'll see what I mean. It looked really cool, really original. You can tell it has some age on it, though. And by this point, when it's 5 years later and we're in a new console generation, and you can tell that the footage they're showing was probably alpha footage, maybe pre-alpha. But it was really cool. It was a game that I knew nothing about, and I saw a gameplay demo for it back in the day and just thought it was incredible. And I was really upset when it got canceled eventually. So if it comes back in any capacity, I will be ecstatic. And yeah,
that would be their big. That would be their big one because
that'd be their big one.
Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout's coming out.
I won't announce Elder Scrolls 6 or 7 or whatever.
No, they won't do that until next year at the earliest, very earliest. And I think they've shown with Fallout that they would prefer to just not even talk about those games until they're almost complete. So I don't think they'll talk about the next Elder Scrolls for like probably another 2 or 3 years, honestly. So figured we'd at least break those down a little bit. Talked about them a little bit more than I thought we would, but figured we'd mention them. Worth mentioning. You want to start with Microsoft, Max? Now we're getting into actual predictions, and Max is going to talk up.
Yay, I have things to actually say.
So what do we have? 5 for each of them?
5 for each, yes.
Go ahead and do your first one.
Okay. A little note for Microsoft. This is probably out of the big 3. This is the one I'm least familiar with.
Same here.
So some of these are going to sound pretty lame or out of left field, and that's more from lack of knowledge than me thinking these things actually will happen. I'll start with what I think is my weakest one, which is Halo 6 is teased, and then they also, with that, announced that Reach is being remastered, and you can add it to the Master Chief Collection.
That would be freaking dope. That's
I
actually a
think
solid prediction. I don't know about the Halo 6 part, but I could definitely see the Reach part. Like
mm,
that I can picture that clearly.
because they did it with ODST. It's the only one missing.
And they made it sound like it didn't take long with ODST because I remember
You can
they
buy it
just
for like
had
$5.
or yeah, they were well out of nowhere. They felt bad because Master Chief Collection sucked at launch, and they're like, we'll remaster ODST to say sorry." It was like just yeah, we'll do that real quick and patch it and put it over on Xbox One. So that would be dope. Breach is my favorite. I would love
Yeah,
that
I
game
love
so
Reach.
much.
Reach is great.
Solid. That's solid. I don't know if they'll show off Halo 6 yet. Um, Mainly because we'll go into my first prediction. They're gonna show off Halo Wars 2. They're gonna show off gameplay for it and stuff. They've already shown us a trailer. I say it comes
Yeah.
out late. I say that it comes out later this year. That's my first prediction. I think they focus on that Halo wise. I don't know if they tease Halo 6 at this point, especially with their next big first party game being Gears of War. I think they're going to want to give Gears of War some time. They did Halo last
I mean,
year.
they teased Halo 5 so early with that desert scene.
Yeah, they did. They
I don't know. I feel like you got to keep the momentum going because next year,
I feel like they had to tease that early though because Xbox One didn't have any titles yet. So it was like,
that's fair.
hey, you should buy our console because Halo 5's coming. Hey, here's a teaser. And so because I mean nothing in that teaser even made the final game. So there was no desert, there was no cloaked Master Chief. There was the big machine thing that I
Yeah,
guess was
I
in the
mean, the
final game.
design was there. It was just that
Yeah.
moment was not there.
Yeah. So I don't think we see Halo 6 yet. I think at the earliest next year, because we know it's a trilogy. We know that there's another one coming.
There's 2 more coming.
Is there 2 more coming?
Yeah.
I thought they said that it was a new trilogy and it was going to start with 4.
343's trilogy.
Yeah, but that started with 4.
Oh, 343 did 4?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
It started with 4. That was like one of the swan song games on the 360. So yeah, I think the Reach thing's solid. I think they could definitely do that. It's just like a quick like cash grab or something like that. That would also be one of the ones that I think they could say, and it's out today. So, because I bet that isn't that hard for them to make. But I don't know. Maybe after making Halo 5, they don't want to go back and remaster another game now. So who knows?
Who knows?
So yeah, I said mine. Halo Wars 2 gameplay releases 2016.
Yep. My second prediction: Sea of Thieves gameplay is shown with a release window.
What's your release window? Because this is one of mine as well.
I didn't put a release window.
I said fall next year.
That makes sense.
I think the game's still a ways out, but I think we do see gameplay this year.
I coupled with that just because they're kind of the same thing. I said a release date for Recore, and that will be this year.
I mean,
I put those 2 together.
Okay, I have Recore as one as well. I have Recore early next year.
Early next year, okay.
Yeah, I think they're going to highlight that one. Wait, when did you say Recore? This year? I don't. I think it's early next year. I'll stick with that.
I think this is.
That was another one of my predictions. Though they've already highlighted Recore, like that's been in some of their promotional stuff leading up to it. But, so I think they are going to show a lot of Recore gameplay. I think they are going to show. I think everybody's going to want to see Sea of Thieves gameplay too. Those are the 2 big ones going into it that I think a lot of people are hyped to actually see something from because we've only seen those initial trailers.
Yeah, the concept.
Yeah, I think Sea of Thieves is fall next year, though. If I had to take a guess, that sounds about right in my head. Recore, I do agree. I think it is closer, but I don't think that it makes sense for them to release this year, especially when they've got Gears. You assume they'll announce it. This wasn't one of my predictions, but you assume we'll see a Forza there. What is it? Horizon's turn.
It'd be Horizon 3, yeah.
Yeah, so Forza Horizon 3, you would assume would probably be there. I don't know. They made a big deal about their launch lineup last year. It's called it the best launch lineup in Xbox's history. And so if they released Halo Wars 2, Gears of War 4, Recore, and
Crackdown 3.
Yeah, that's better in my mind than last year. I mean, obviously it's a year later. No one's going to care about the marketing that they did trying to sell last year's games. But I think I think ReCore's next year. I forgot about Crackdown 3. Yeah.
How'd you forget about Crackdown 3?
I have no idea. I've been really wanting that game.
My third prediction, as I look at my list, Cuphead is out now. Cuphead has been teased at 2 E3s. Now, maybe even more. That game has kind of disappeared for a little bit. I think it comes out. They go up there, they talk about their ID at Xbox. We see the next game from Playdead Studios, which is that Inside game. We see that and maybe get a release window for that.
I totally forgot about that.
But we talk all about their ID at Xbox games, and they throw in their Cuphead is out now. And after the show, I download Cuphead and rip my hair out.
I have a Cuphead prediction as well. I have Cuphead release date announced for August. So it's pretty soon, but not today, like Young Max is hoping for. Dude, if Cuphead released next week, I'm all for that, but I don't know if it'll happen.
I think it's time. I think that game that's what it needs at the moment.
Now, what would be dope is if they brought back Summer of Arcade or something like that,
and used Cuphead
as one of the first games, and it releases like 3 weeks from now. That would be cool. But cool. I don't see them doing it then. Cuphead's too much in the public eye for them to just, I think, release it right then. I think they'd want to promote that and market that at least for a couple weeks.
I think it's out now. I think it got a lot of hype behind it. I think they've shown it off enough, and I don't want to see another demo of it. I just want it to be out. So.
I think they'll show one more trailer and probably splash the release date up there at the end of it, similar to like they did with Horizon the other day. Bold prediction, Max. We'll see if it works out for you. Again, I just said one
Cuphead.
of mine. Yeah, Cuphead. So that's 4 of mine knocked out.
So
what else you got?
Xbox One Slim is announced, having an imminent release. The price for that stays at $350, and the OG Xbox drops down permanently to $300, which is the sale going on right until June 13th.
I thought that it was permanently at $300 now. Guess I'm wrong. Nope. Yeah, they'll drop that permanently to $300 next week for sure then. I don't know. See, I had an Xbox Slim prediction as well. We had a lot of crossover, but again, I think this is a more predictable E3. So is the Xbox Slim going to be the one that everybody's hyped up is like, oh, this is stronger than a NASA computer?
This is the Slim. And then the next one is codenamed Scorpio, and that'll be next year.
Yeah, I'm going to say my prediction was Xbox Slim releases later this year. I think it'll be probably early fall, maybe around September, so you could get your new console before the new games come out. Probably will have a 2 terabyte hard drive. If I had to guess, that'd be nice. That's all I've got for that. Yeah, I don't think they talk about Scorpio. There's
they won't talk about Scorpio.
There's been some hype around it, but not the same level of like Sony with the 4.5 4K Neo, whatever you want to call it.
I actually disagree. I think they're on the same level because they're both these upgradable consoles. Yeah.
Well, like in terms of them being similar as far as consoles go, yeah. But I think what I'm saying is I think the 4.5 has been more in the public eye up until this point.
Because it leaks sooner.
Because there's been more leaks. There's been more talk about it. I think people are talking about Sony's a little bit more. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect from the whole Scorpio thing. I feel like talk about that has been much quieter and more speculation rather than here's a doc I've got saying this, and this. So we haven't seen anything like that with the Scorpio like we have with the Neo. So yeah, I don't think they're going to talk about it. I think they'll push the Slim first, and then maybe later this year or early next year they'll talk about the Scorpio.
My last Microsoft prediction, number 5, Resident Evil 7 debuts.
You think it's going to be 7?
Well, whatever the equivalent would be. So the new Resident Evil game. So 7 or a reboot whatever that's called, the new Resident Evil game shows up.
That would be cool. I could see that with Microsoft too. That would make sense.
Especially with Capcom, especially if Dead Rising 4 is there. That's already a Capcom game. Then you usher in Resident Evil.
That would make sense. You think we've got to see Resident Evil at some point next week, and showing up at one of these press conferences would make the most sense. So that's it's a solid prediction. I could definitely see that happening. You mentioned Crackdown earlier. I want to come back to that. I know I've already gone through my 5 or whatever. Totally forgot about Crackdown. I think that I don't know if they're going to announce or I bet they announce a window for it because we've seen it now.
2 E3s. Actually, before the Xbox One was even out.
Yeah, we've seen it for a while now.
I say that's out this year too.
I think it goes to summer next year.
No way. They've been promoting it too long.
I mean, they can't release everything on top of each other though, because they've got. I mean,
but they're all different games.
I know, but it's still like you don't want to blow your load in like 3 months. So they've got Recore, they've got Halo Wars 2, they've got Gears of War 4, they've got Crackdown, they've got Cuphead, they've got Sea of Thieves. What else do they have? Forza, which is always in the fall, which is always they push Forza as a big title, which it really is. It sells a lot of copies. They've just got like 5, 6, 7 games that are coming out that I think they're going to need to spread out a little bit more, especially because like you and me both think like I think they've shown us. I think both companies have mostly shown us what they've got in development at this point, and it's just the fact that it needs to come out. I don't really think we're in store for too many new surprises this year, but I hope I'm wrong because seeing new games that we didn't know existed before is always really fun. So that's our Microsoft part.
Our Microsoft part. You ready to go to Nintendo?
Yeah, let's jump over to Nintendo because Max said we needed to have a Nintendo portion of this. Even though we already know what's going to happen. They're going to E3. They're not talking about they're not talking about the NX. They're just talking about Zelda. Zelda is literally the only game they're bringing to E3, which is
that you can play on the show floor.
Strange.
Their Treehouse is going to show off other games like Pokemon or Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE or the other game. I think Paper Mario will show up. Like the Treehouse is going to be doing stuff, but playable on the show floor is only Zelda.
So I wanted to say, the one thing I heard interesting the other day and why they're doing this is because Nintendo typically has the most space on the E3 show floor, and most people said that they probably wanted to just completely drop out of E3 this year. But if they would have done that, then they would have lost all of their space on the floor, and if they wanted to come back next year, then they would have been almost at the end of the line. If they wanted to get their space, they wouldn't have had the same space next year if they would have completely dropped out this year. So I think that's why they're going with a bare bones lineup. It's weird, but I don't know. I guess it makes sense.
I'm so excited. It's like
all right. So what
probably it's the part of E3 I'm most excited for. Nintendo always is. It always creeps up on me. Anyway, my first
it always creeps up on me, and then I'm disappointed. So.
Yeah, that's true. My first one is pretty simple. A new Zelda amiibo line is revealed.
That would be cool. I didn't think about that.
Yep, the new Zelda for the Zelda Wii U, whatever. God, I can't wait to figure out the name of that game.
That's one of my predictions. They revealed the title of the game.
Oh, well, that's like a shoo-in.
We've thought that for a while now. The game's out in less than a year. We don't know what it's called.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn what it's called and stop calling it Zelda Wii U because it's not even a Wii U game anymore. But anyway, my first prediction is Zelda amiibo line is revealed.
That would be cool. It'd be interesting. Who would they have in it besides who they've already got? Because we've already got Sheik, Zelda, Ganondorf, Toon Link, and Link.
No. This is the Zelda Wii U line. So you're gonna see Link again, and then you're gonna start seeing whatever main characters to show. You'll see Zelda. You'll see maybe the villain. I don't know if it'll be Ganondorf or Ganon.
You're saying the game itself.
Yeah, like how Mario Party had its own line or Animal Crossing had its own line.
Yeah,
this
is
that
makes sense.
The Zelda Wii U line.
Well, if they want me to get back into buying amiibos, then that would be the smart thing to do.
And we know this game does have amiibo functionality because the Twilight Princess amiibo works with this game somehow.
I'll be playing on NX, so I will not be figuring out what amiibo function. Amiibo
has to work with NX, so it'll be fine.
We'll see. It's Nintendo, and they don't have to do anything. So
It'll work.
yeah. I mean, I mentioned my first one. I think we're finally, please God in heaven, give us a title to this game so I can quit calling it Zelda. Just
Mystery Zelda game.
yeah. Again, I think it's completely ridiculous that the game is out in 9 months and we don't know what it's called. That's weird, especially considering we've known about it for 2.5, 3 years now.
2.
Is it 2?
2.
Yeah, I guess it was 2014, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Long
so
time.
we've known about it for 2 years. It's out 9 months. What is it called? Please tell us.
See. So my second prediction, kind of in the same vein as my first one, Zelda 30th anniversary plans are revealed, and this includes a collector's edition of the game. They did this, 5 years ago for Skyward Sword and showed off the Skyward Sword collector's edition with the gold Wiimote. They do this again with Zelda Wii U.
So this is the 30th anniversary, right?
Yep. Zelda and a Metroid. Don't worry.
So
Metroid didn't get anything for 25 years either.
So you think they're doing something special for the 30th anniversary of Zelda this year, and it's the new game?
They show off their plans. I mean, what they did was Skyward Sword lined up with the 25-year anniversary, but I think they show off the plans for that. I mean, last time they did the concert, like the symphony, they did Skyward Sword. Maybe Ocarina of Time was around then too on the 3DS. Like they had really big plans, and
that launched whenever the 3DS launched, so it was around that time.
So I think it's all. I think their 30-year anniversary plans line up. Whether that's a Link Between Worlds. No, wait, they already did that. I'm sorry, with Triforce Heroes. But anyway, the plans for that anniversary are revealed.
I could see them doing something about that eventually. I don't know if it's going to be at E3. I could see them talking about it in a direct more than I could see them talking about it next week. But they might, or they just might totally, or they just might totally not mention anything at all, because like you said, they did nothing for Metroid's 25th.
Well, when you have Zelda and Metroid in the same year, Zelda's going to overshadow it. So
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they'll make a big deal out of Federation Force at some point down the road and make a big 30th anniversary Federation Force Soccer Ball Metroid Special Collector's Edition. As far as the demo goes, I think, are we going to get to see the actual demo? Are they going to stream it?
Oh yeah, they're streaming the demo. They're streaming it like all day.
I think we see a new, this is like kind of a lame, I mean, I have lame predictions for this because I don't really, I don't have anything as crazy as Max does. I'm not thinking outside the box.
You just wait. You don't even know crazy yet.
I'm not thinking outside the box like Max is with this, but I think we see a couple new items, like stuff that hasn't been in the series before. Like they showcased the Beetle a couple of years ago when they showed off Skyward Sword. The whip as well. I think they show us something completely new with this next Zelda, a new item that hasn't been in the game before. And maybe some new abilities too. New items, new abilities, similar to how you can now flip off the horse and slow down time, stuff like that. I think there'll be a couple new abilities as well. I don't know what they'll be.
I like some.
Yeah, they'll show off a couple new things like that.
Okay, my third one. Yes, my third one. We'll do a Nintendo character cameo happens in the Zelda demo from a different franchise, whether that's Mario, Metroid, Star Fox.
In the game?
Yeah, in the demo. There's some sort of cameo Easter egg reference. Yeah.
It's Captain Olimar. He's here in Hyrule.
Yeah, but I mean, in Link's Awakening, there's a Chain Chomp. Like, there's some reference to a different Nintendo franchise in this game that's blatantly obvious that they point out. Like, it's not something you have to dig through the trailer and scrub through to find. It is this obvious reference to another Nintendo franchise.
let's set our marker over here and travel with Epona. I think we see a new character over here in this region. And as you get closer,
like in Ocarina of Time.
you see a purpled shadow character in the distance, and as you get closer, it's Wah Waluigi. Waluigi, what are you doing in Hyrule?
That'd be awful. But in Ocarina of Time, one of the characters by the castle is Mario, like blatantly Mario.
Yeah, when you look through
Like something like that that's just blatantly obvious, and they stop and it's pointed out, like you see it.
Don't you be talking about Ocarina of Time if you never even played that far?
I have.
I'm just kidding.
Right?
Huh? You said you never beat the Deku Tree, right?
I don't think so. I remember seeing the Italian dude though outside the castle.
Yeah, he is. It's the farmer, the Lon Lon Ranch farmer. Yeah. He looks similar to Mario. My next one. So I was trying to think what they're going to showcase with the game. Are they going to show us a dungeon? Or are they going to show us a temple? Or are they going to show us? What are they going to show us? What are they going to tell us? In the end, I think the thing they really show off the most is the world. Just the open world. I don't think they're going to show us a specific dungeon or temple. I think they're going to keep that stuff under lock and key for now. I think again, similar to the demo we saw a couple of years ago or like a year and a half ago with Miyamoto and Anuma. I think they're going to showcase the world again and show you how to traverse it. And again, new abilities and things like that. I think this game is so much more open than the previous Zeldas. And I think they're going to show you how you traverse around. And obviously we saw in one of the previous demos, like there's a massive mountain. Is there any way to get up it? Maybe you can use your hook shot and get up it faster than you would think or something like that. Like, I think they're going to show you how to traverse and get around this world. And that's going to be the real star of the demo. I don't think they're going to show any dungeons or anything like that. I don't think they could show, I don't know. They could show maybe a snippet of a boss fight or something like that, but I wouldn't even really want to see that. Oh, maybe I would. I don't know.
You would.
I probably would. If they showed it, I'd probably weep and get
so
excited. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 4?
What's your next one?
This isn't my craziest one, but the NX version is mentioned.
What?
It's not shown. It's, they don't
yeah, for sure it'll be mentioned.
They're going to talk about how this game got moved over to NX.
Yeah, I think for sure. If they didn't, then that would be kind of ignorant on their part and just kind of strange more than anything. Yeah, they should mention the NX version. Like, they should. If I don't see why they wouldn't, but if they don't for some reason, that's just weird. So, yeah.
All right. What do you got for me? Yeah.
So there was a rumor. This is my last one. I don't have a fifth.
Okay. I just have one more after this.
I'm gonna guess though. I don't think it's a full remake, but some people found that the map in the demo with Miyamoto and Anuma, they found that the map was really similar to the original map from the original Legend of Zelda, and that maybe this game takes place in literally the exact same Hyrule layout. And now they've just built it up, obviously, and it's open world because the original Zelda was kind of
open world. You can go anywhere you want as long as you don't die.
Yeah, I don't think it's a remake, but I think they do say that this is that Hyrule from the first Zelda. Huh. Except now,
I do 30 not want that.
30 years later. I don't want that either.
I think that limits the world design.
I don't want that either. For the record, it's prediction. I hope they don't do it, but that's my crazy prediction. If I really had to predict it,
you just, in the words of Samuel Jackson, hold on to your butts.
Yeah, I could see them doing that. I don't think they're gonna do that though, honestly.
All right, you ready for this one?
Which kind of makes it not a prediction, but I don't know. That was
more a rumor.
Yeah.
All right, this is it. This is my 5th Zelda / Nintendo prediction. This is the big doozy one.
The main protagonist of the game is Tingle?
No.
That would be good.
A demo for the game is announced for the public to be released at a later date on your Wii
U. That's me crapping my pants if that actually happens.
Because...
Hold on. Does the Wii U eShop even have demos regularly?
Okay. Yeah, I played Bayonetta 2 demo on there.
Okay.
They have a demo for this game. They I
Just the
mean, what
thought of that happening would blow my
I think
mind.
they notice. I think they look at games. I think they looked at a game like Final Fantasy 15 that is taking an open world route. Now there's 2 demos for that game, and I think this is one way to kind of mend the relationship between Wii U owners and the fact this game's getting bumped to NX. I think this gives you a taste of it. I don't know if the demo is like a chunk of Hyrule Field that you can explore and live in, or if it's just so much of a dungeon up to a boss or something. But I think there's going to be a demo for this game, and it's not going to be something you wait in line at Best Buy for. You're going to be able to download it to your Wii U, and there's going to be a time for that. Like they tell you can download a demo for this game here, or maybe it's like pre-order the game and get the demo, which is scummy, but people do it all the time. There's going to be a way for us, the public, to play this game.
So that's a really hard one on me, because if they did that, that would be such a great showing of goodwill from them and a great apology and saying, look, we know the game's like going to be a year and a half late or whatever we originally promised. We're sorry. We want you to play this, though. And if you're not at E3, we want you to play this. Here it is. That would be awesome. That would seriously be so freaking cool, especially since they know they've got nothing else coming out this year. Nothing of note, at least, on the Wii U.
Forgot Paper Mario Color Splash.
Yeah, we're Paper Mario fans, and we're not even hyped for that.
Oh, gosh, that game looks rough.
That would be such a great showing of goodwill from Nintendo. And that's if you worked at Nintendo and you convinced them to do that, that would be such a freaking good idea. And if they do that, I'm going to be so happy with Nintendo for the first time in like 18 months. Because it's just been
I
a
have
steady
a feeling in my gut.
It's just been
I'm
a
going to be able to play this
decline
game
for me. If they did that, that would be awesome. I don't think they're doing it because it's Nintendo.
It's gonna happen.
But they've never been on the cutting edge of anything like that.
But they've never done an open world Zelda before.
Yeah,
I think with the Wii U dying, I think with the fact that the Wii U was robbed of its swan song, I think the fact that this is
technically,
but it's not the prettier and better. We'll put quotes around better because Twilight Princess, the better version, was the GameCube. We'll put quotes around it, but the prettier, quote, better version of the game is going to be on NX. We were robbed of it. This was a Wii U exclusive. I think they do this as a gesture of like good faith and like to mend that relationship to the consumer. Obviously we aren't owed it. We don't need it or deserve it, but by golly, that would be the right thing to do as far as.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Like, it makes sense for them to do it. It would be a great showing of goodwill from them. It would be a great fan service to the fans who have wanted this game forever. Like, everything you mentioned, it makes sense. Like, yes. But then I come back to the one thing I said a second ago. They're Nintendo. They don't do stuff like that. And they're changing for the worst, I feel like, right now. And that's what sucks, is that they've just been steadily going downhill for like the past 3 years. And while I would love if they do that. If I get to play Zelda next week, I'm losing my mind. But just nothing from what they've done in the past year or two is showing me that they're going to do that. Even though, like we just laid it out here, it makes all the sense in the world for them to do that. I just don't know that they will, simply because they're Nintendo.
My one other thing, like why I think that's happening, there's no Best Buy deal this year. The past 2 years, they've done a deal where if you go to Best Buy, you can play the demos for the games they're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
The only way they're having people play Zelda is at the Nintendo World Store in New York City. The first 500 people in line on a certain day get a wristband, and you can wait in line and play the game.
Well, then that would.
No, I said with a later release date. They let the people at Nintendo play it first, Nintendo World Store in New York, and at a later date, we get the demo.
So maybe like 2 weeks from now.
It's not like the demo's available now. It's here's when you can play this demo. End of June, end of July. Because obviously then that robs the people in New York, besides the cool experience of being in the Nintendo World Store on the big TV.
Yeah, it'd give me a reason to turn on my Wii U. That's for sure.
Mario Maker. Okay, but that's all I got for Nintendo. You want to move on to Sony?
Yeah, let's get Sony, the big old one that I think we're looking forward to the most, or at least it's the one I always look forward to the most. I used to look forward to Nintendo the most until year after year after year of crying ensued.
All right, you ready? I got a good list here. I'm proud of this one.
I've got a bit more. I've got a bit of better ones on this list, I would say. But yeah, let's go.
Number 1, Sly Cooper 5 is announced and Sanzario is developing.
That would be dope. That's not a bad idea.
Four ends with a cliff.
It does end with a cliffhanger. Yeah. What happened to Sanzario? They haven't done anything since then, have they?
Nope. They're making that Sly 5 because right at that time the PS4 was getting ready to come out. So I'm telling you, they pushed it here. This isn't part of my prediction, so don't count this against me. Yeah. But I would not be surprised if we get like a Sly 4 at the very least, but the whole collection at the very most. PS4 redone.
That would be interesting. Again,
Sly Cooper was one of the first 3 HD remasters, so I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's not part of my prediction, but it would not
be the first ever remaster of a remaster.
Potentially. I mean,
oh my gosh, they're good enough games where I'd almost play it again.
What I have a feeling though is Sly 5 is announced and Sanzario is developing it.
That'd be awesome. You'd find nobody more excited about that than myself, except for maybe yourself. I would love that. That would be really, really, really cool to just see something Sly, because Sly 4 was good. It really was.
Sly 4 is great. It's I think the series goes 2, 4, 1, 3, but others would disagree with me on that.
Yeah, I think 2 is for sure the best.
2 is absolutely.
3 is your least favorite.
Yeah.
3 is not great. It's fine. I don't know how I feel about 3, actually, in retrospect. Because at the time I really enjoyed it, but it pales in comparison to Sly 2. So I'm not sure. All right, my first one. This one's less of a prediction, more of like, well, I guess it's a prediction, but Max, you're doing way better with predictions this year than I am. I haven't been able to think of anything outside the box. My first one, God of War 4 is shown. It is Norse mythology. It comes out fall next year.
The leak just turned into a prediction.
Yep. So that's my lamest one. I've got like 6 down here.
I think that game is actually this year.
Really?
That's not one of my predictions, but I do think that God of War is this year. I think with Horizon being delayed, I think Sony Santa Monica has been working on this since the beginning, because this hasn't been teased or announced at all.
Shown anything.
I think this is one of those 6-month turnarounds. I think it's that, The Last Guardian, and Gran Turismo.
Well, then what's fall next year, though?
Fall next year?
Yeah.
Bend.
You think Dead Don't Ride is next year?
Yep.
I would I've got a thing about Dead Don't Ride in a second, but
anyway, yeah, that's my
I'll get it. Well, I would think that I think Dead Don't Ride's closer than God of War personally, but I don't know how close Dead Don't Ride is.
Dead Don't Ride's VR.
VR?
Yep.
Is that okay? Is that your next one?
No, but it makes sense to me. That's why I haven't talked about it until now.
What's your next one?
My next one is the PS4.5 is confirmed, but the catch is that reception is widely positive.
Okay, so that's more of a prediction about the audience rather than...
Yeah, because so far everything circulating this thing is negativity. But from a consumer perspective, I think that the reception, somehow Sony's going to spin it and it's going to be widely positive.
Okay, then I'll go straight into my 4.5 prediction. So PS 4.5 is announced, not out this year, out early next year.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that.
So because, well, the sentiment right now is that it's coming out this year next to PSVR. And I think that is one, dumb, because PSVR is a console launch in its own right, and they've upfront said that forever now. 2, I just don't understand. Well, Like, yeah, why would you launch those on top of each other? I guess that's still point one. Point two, though, is that there has been a negative reception to this, and I think they're going to maybe want to hold back a little bit, be like, okay, let's wait a second here. Let's make sure we get the marketing right on this. Let's make sure we get the right message out there. Let's make sure that people understand why we're doing this and why this matters and why they should upgrade if they're one of the 40 plus million who already own it.
Gosh,
So I think they're going to spend time.
I think they're going to this generation.
Yeah, no freaking kidding. I think they're going to spend time crafting their message with that at this E3 and then at PlayStation Experience, and then it comes out maybe first half of next year.
Nice. My next prediction, one that I'll tickle your fancy. A single player Star Wars game is revealed akin to 1313.
That would be cool. I mean,
now,
we know
we
EA,
know
two are in development.
Yeah, I know EA is Sunday, but Sony, EA, and Star Wars are like all three together. So I think they show off a single player Star Wars game.
That'd be cool. Is it which one? Is it the one Amy's working on, or is it the one from Respawn?
I have no idea. I couldn't tell you that. A single player Star Wars game is revealed.
This thing, because Amy's working on hers, and then we've got Battlefront 2 next year, which would be interesting to show off. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I that's not a bad prediction for something Star Wars wise to show up at Sony's, because they are all in bed together. So
they're all snooging around.
Not a bad idea, young Maximilian. All right. Next one.
Lay it on me.
I know this one you're skeptic about. Last Guardian's out in September.
Ooh, that's so early. I
think that game needs to come out before the Call of Duties and the Gears of War start hitting.
You want to put the Last Guardian up against Destiny?
Yeah. The Last Guardian's a very niche audience, I think, who wants to play it anyway. It's got a lot of hype surrounding it just because it disappeared for so long. But I think the group of people, I think the group of people who will end up playing that game and buying that game is a very core PlayStation audience. It doesn't have the appeal or the wide range of like Uncharted or something like that. So I do think they'd like to get it out before having to compete with the other titans of this year. Even though it's really talked about a lot, I don't think it's talked about a lot because people want it. I think it's talked about a lot because of the weird stigma surrounding it. So I think it's out in September.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Do you think it's out this year?
Yes.
I
still think it's September.
Well, like a week ago, I think on last week's episode, you said you really think that's coming out this year?
Yeah, but after we read, I don't know if it was here.
They had that
different show. There's an interview in Edge, and it was like, yes, it's coming out.
Yeah, they backed it up like a week ago, so I think it's September.
Number 4 for Sony, the penultimate prediction for this episode on my end. Big one. Rockstar reveals Red Dead 2 on stage. I guess to be more specific, it's really 2K, because Rockstar really doesn't show up. But Rockstar's logo is going to go across Sony's screen, and Red Dead 2 is going to queue up.
Interesting. That'd be cool. I'd be really excited for that. Red Dead's one of the great games from last gen, so I would not be complaining.
I don't think anyone would.
Don't know if it's going to happen, though. But
absolutely. We're seeing we will see Red Dead 2 this week, though.
Really?
I would guarantee.
I doubt it.
I'm just saying it specifically on Sony's stage.
There was something that came out recently that I'm pretty sure it came out like 2 weeks ago, where Rockstar said they didn't have anything coming out this year or next year.
It doesn't have to come out this year. I didn't say that.
They said they have nothing slated through like April of next year, I think.
Yeah, 2K said that.
Yeah.
2K will show it off, though.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't need E3, though. Like, that's the thing. So while it would be cool fan service to us gamers, like, they don't.
Rockstar doesn't, but 2K does.
Yeah, but Red Dead's still Rockstar. So
yeah, but who publishes it?
2K, but who cares?
2K needs it.
But Rockstar has the say. They're the developer. They'll tell you. I mean, I think they're one of the few developers who does say when and where that game gets shown off and announced compared to their publisher. So I mean, like with most of these publishers, like EA and stuff like that,
We will see
I
Red
think
Dead
they
2.
dictate that sort of thing. But
Red Dead 2's coming, and we're gonna see it. 5 days time.
I doubt it. Bob's Furniture. I doubt it. Old Beyond joke. I don't believe that at all. I've got 6 here. I wanted to say I think we see the Spider-Man game announced. It's not by Sucker Punch.
Whoa,
Gotta be honest, don't think that's happening.
that's crazy. Who else would make it?
I don't know. I don't think it's Sucker Punch though.
Sucker Punch is the only fit for that.
I don't know. But I don't think that game's showing up, period. I really don't.
Okay.
That's more of like a hope and lost dream. I had 6. Let me get one of my next ones at you instead, because I really don't put any weight in that last one. Dead Don't Ride is revealed. It's out next year. And we know it involves motorcycles and we know it involves zombies, but I'm going to say it's extremely colorful. This game is a bright, vibrant game. Even though it has to do with
in the vein of Sunset Overdrive.
Something like that, yeah. Even though it has to do with zombies and it sounds real dark, I'm gonna guess it's real goofy and fun and something different from Ben, because Siphon Filter's pretty serious and pretty dark military type shooter, spy shooter, whatever it is. I think Dead Don't Ride is gonna be a colorful, kind of wacky game. Like, yeah, I guess similar to Sunset Overdrive. Maybe not that crazy. But I think
but like Sunset Overdrive originally was supposed to be this dark, depressing post-apocalyptic game.
Yeah.
And then they're like, we'll just make it loud and obnoxious and proud and bright and pop.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of vibrancy to this game. So I don't know if that's really a prediction, but sort of. Oh, it's a prediction, but yeah, we see Dead Don't Ride. It's out next year.
You ready for my last one?
Yeah.
Or do you want to do yours? You want me or you?
I don't want you to steal my thunder on mine, so I'd almost like to
go for it
first. But I don't think this is going to be yours anyway. But
all right, go for it.
Bloodborne 2 is revealed and is out next year.
Oh yeah, I have nothing to do with that crap.
I predicted
not crap. Bloodborne apparently is a very good game.
It's a very good game. I predicted last year that they would show From Software would show off Dark Souls 3. They did. It's like the Soul series is like the most popular series in gaming right now, or at least one of them. It's consistently coming out every year. I think they've got it down to a formula at this point. Dark Souls 3 was this year. You would assume Bloodborne's going to be next year. And From Software and Sony have still probably got some sort of deal where they like working together the most. Bloodborne 2, you got to think, is coming. They've had 3 Souls games out in 3 consecutive years. I'm going to say it's a 4th Bloodborne 2 is revealed, scheduled for next year.
Interesting. Not.
Four Souls games in 4 years.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
That would be pretty good, and I would be pretty happy.
All right, I need you to listen to this whole thing before you say anything.
Does it deal with the Spider-Mans?
No, nothing to do with Spider-Man.
All right.
Just listen to it all before you say anything.
Okay.
My 5th and final prediction for Sony's press conference. The show ends with a Last of Us 2 teaser, similar to the Uncharted 4 announcement when the PS4 launched. It's a voiceover clip. You don't need to have anything done. It's like Ellie's voice. The reason I think this is going to happen, in 2011 when Uncharted 3 came out, there was the Easter egg in the game with the newspaper in the opening bar area. They actually were supposed to announce The Last of Us before Uncharted 3 came out, but they didn't. They slipped and never took the newspaper out. So they were actually really worried that people were going to figure it out before they announced it. A month later at the VGAs, they revealed The Last of Us. Uncharted 4 came out a month ago, or around a month ago. A voiceover teaser is not hard to do at all. Also, at the end of Uncharted 4, very intentionally, there is a teaser, like there's, an Easter egg with The Last of Us American Daughters featuring a pregnant Ellie on the front of it.
Assumed to be Ellie.
Assumed to be Ellie. If it's not Ellie, I don't know. It's like so obviously her. American Daughters.
She's a
I
lesbian. It doesn't make any sense. Or at least it's assumed that she is, I guess. I guess she could be bisexual, but whatever.
She's pregnant. The game is called Last of Us American Daughters, and it's teased. It's just a voiceover. It's Ashley Johnson. Maybe you hear Joel. I don't know, but it's a voiceover clip similar to the Uncharted 4 teaser. Back even, I'm telling you, that's how they're closing the show. You're gonna see that Naughty Dog logo roll, and the theater is gonna flip out. It makes sense with timing with their last reveals. It's easy to do. I mean, it's gonna happen.
I think you're trying to will this into existence.
I'm not. Look at the past. If you look at their history, it makes sense. Perfect.
I agree that they do reveal their next project pretty soon after they've ended their current one. I don't think this is getting announced. I don't. I think maybe PSX.
The PSX is where you see Uncharted 4's DLC, and then E3 2017 is when you see the first gameplay demo for The Last of Us 2. That is exactly the cycle.
I don't know about that.
The reason we're not
about that, but The Last of It, do they still have two separate teams? Because that's the thing, is that Neil and Bruce were the Last of Us team, and then they got thrown into Uncharted.
My understanding is the teams merged together, is my understanding.
That's what I thought it was too. So the fact that they'd have anything done to show off a demo by next year would be insane. Especially
they could have had a team, like a small team split in pre, or we really don't know. No one's ever said they came together. They kind of lent all hands on deck.
People who know more than you and I do have said as much. So
we don't know if the teams are split. I assume that they've merged. I do assume that.
Well, Colin and Greg know Neil and Bruce pretty well, and they've said that the teams kind of came together.
So it could, but that's the cycle right there. It's teased at the end of E3 this year, single player DLC for Uncharted 4's PSX, and then E3 2017. Here, I'll give you this. We see a trailer. At the least, a demo at the most.
I think it would be the other way around. I think if anything, they show the teaser for the Uncharted 4.
They have none of that ready though. They said,
like, you're saying they have none of the add-on single player DLC ready, but you're saying in 12 months' time they'll have a demo for Last of Us 2 ready.
I just told you, a trailer at the least, a demo at the most. I'll give you that.
Okay.
A trailer at the least, but I'm telling you,
I just don't.
This game is teased at the end of the press conference.
It's as of this recording, it's not even been a month since Uncharted's been released.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna happen.
That's
a voiceover is so easy to do. We already have the poster.
But if Easter egg, I'm gonna say this: if the game's like 3 years out, don't show us anything.
For a script, they animate some map. It's done.
I hope that's not the case just for Naughty Dog, because I want them all to take a nice, relaxing, at least couple week long vacation after Uncharted 4.
I'm telling you,
I'm not saying it's real or not real. I'm just saying for the benefit of those developers.
That team,
I hope they've been able to take a vacation since
they don't need a vacation. They need to keep making. Oh my gosh,
I can only imagine how busy they are there. I'm gonna say, like you said earlier, they do a victory lap with Uncharted 4. They say, yeah, the game's awesome. And then maybe Neil and Bruce come out and they're like, thanks for buying the game. Here's a teaser for the add-on DLC.
You don't. No, they don't talk about that DLC. I don't see a teaser for that DLC. I see that as a PSX thing.
But isn't that so backwards? No. It'd be weird if they announced their next project before even finishing their current one.
Tease it. It's a teaser. You call Ashley Johnson. She reads a script. You're done.
How far you think the game's out? Realistically.
Last of Us 2?
Yeah.
Their turnaround, they have 2-year turnaround on the PS3 cycle. Uncharted 2 and then Uncharted.
But the teams used to be way different.
The PS3 took them 3 years. Now they know it. I say it's a 2-year turnaround. I say this game is a 2018 game.
I don't know. I still,
I think they
I still,
understand the
I
PS4
still don't
architecture
want
now.
to. I still don't know if I even want to see Last of Us 2 as a game. Period.
Oh, you do.
I don't know if I do
You
though.
do. You
The first
do.
one's like one of the most phenomenal
It's an
games ever.
amazing game. It's perfect.
Perfect. Um,
Perfect.
I don't know. I
I'm
don't
telling
see.
you, that's how the show's gonna end, and you're gonna be in that movie
Say
theater, and I'm
so.
gonna be in my movie theater, and we're gonna freak out.
Or maybe they'll just show Shenmue 3 or something. Cool it
No,
off.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get an update on that, but
I heard the other day somebody was playing it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they showed something.
they probably will because
I
they
bet
brought
that
it
game's
into.
not out until 2018. I still know nothing about Shenmue. They're
What's
trying
a
to port.
shame?
They're trying to port over the old ones. I know.
That's what the internet said.
It'd be
But
interesting.
anyway, those are my predictions.
Well, Max, you get down on your knees and start praying to Jesus that Neil and Bruce pull that out of their butts, because I don't think it's gonna happen. I'd love. Don't get me wrong. I'd
Oh
love
my
it
gosh,
if it
that Naughty
happened.
Dog logo is
But
going to roll.
I think you're trying to talk this one into existence
I
myself,
very well could be, but that Naughty Dog
you want
logo
to
is going to show up at the
you
end of
want to
that
see it so
presser.
bad. But they don't need to. They really don't. Like,
Well, they don't
they
need to,
don't.
but they
In all
will.
honesty, I kind of hope they don't. Like, well, and don't get me wrong. Again, be awesome to see, but I would love for the spotlight to be on a couple different studios for maybe the next 12 months before we get back waiting for Naughty Dog's next game. It'd be cool if the hype was surrounding Horizon, if it was surrounding The Last
Dead Don't
Guardian, as we
Ride,
finally
Last
get that. Dead
Guardian.
Don't Ride. Yeah. I think it'd be cool if those games got their due for at least the next year, and then maybe we can get back on the next Naughty Dog hype train. But
You
yeah, I
just
don't
wait.
know. I don't know. I think the development. I think we're also forgetting that the development behind Uncharted 4 was so crazy that if they have anything by this point for Last of Us 2, I'd be blown away. I'd be absolutely blown away
They
because
just need a teaser.
the I don't know, just
They can have a story written down. You know, it's pre-production. They're getting things ready. We see a logo.
I
We
also
hear some
just I'm tired of
dialogue.
seeing games that early too. So I don't know.
Love it. I love it. I'm
Anyway,
excited for it. It's gonna happen.
all right. I'll text you Monday night well, we'll talk about it here Monday night when we record Monday night, and we'll see what happens. That's it for the three predictions episode. Thank you everybody for listening. Let's talk about our schedule next week. So me and Max still really don't have this figured out perfectly. So what I think we're planning on doing as of right now is 3 episodes. If you listen to the show last year at this time, we did an episode following most of the press conferences. We're going to do a similar thing this year. So we're going to have a bunch of unnumbered episodes similar to this one that you're watching right now, and they're going to be coming out next week. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to have an episode that we'll record live late Sunday night, early Monday morning if you're on the East Coast, most likely. And that'll be us breaking down EA's press event and Bethesda's press event, talking about those two. We were originally not thinking about not doing it, but I told Max that we're going to want to talk about Mass Effect, and we're going to want to talk about Mass Effect. So I'm going to guess that we'll record one Sunday night. That one's still tentative. I'd say we're probably going to do that, though, right, Max?
Possibility.
The third-party ones are more up in the air.
Depends how bad you freak out about Mass Effect and Prey 2.
I'm gonna freak out about it, and if Prey 2 is a thing, I'll probably freak out about that too. And then you'll probably freak out about Skyrim Remastered.
Oh, you know.
So we're planning on recording one Sunday night as of now. I don't see us not recording that unless Max breaks his leg or something and can't speak because of it. Monday is Microsoft's press event. That's at 12:30 Eastern. We're going to record an episode as soon as that one ends live here on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? We'll record one live. I don't know when that will be up MP3 wise. We'll have to figure it out. Maybe we can record it there on the fly pretty quick and put it up. Then me and Max are jogging off to the movie theater to go watch PlayStation's E3 press event. So we will be going to the movies, watching what they've got to show, and then we'll be rushing.
Third year in a row. I love it. Oh my gosh. So excited.
I still haven't been to one, so I'm excited.
You're
So
gonna love it, dude. It's great.
We'll be going there, and then I'm sure we'll be running back home and recording an episode.
Probably, yeah. There was a hype train.
Yeah, I'll be up.
Especially, I didn't mention this, but especially if Kingdom Hearts 3 shows up, which I assume it will. So,
Sony's?
Yeah.
Why wasn't that one of your predictions?
Oh, because that's so blatantly obvious.
3 or 2.8?
Oh, 3. They're getting they're getting the 2.8 out of the way now.
That game name.
3.8. I'm sorry, the 2.8 out of the way now, and they're going to show off 3.
We'll find out. I don't know. I'm becoming a crank. I'm starting to become a cranky old curmudgeon when games are announced like 3 or 4 years in advance, and we just have to
10 years in advance.
Yeah, that too.
Here, yeah, I'm gonna send this to you after a while. I wrote this a long time ago. I wrote an article on my blog, Go Left Gaming, about Kingdom Hearts 3 missing last generation in its entirety and why it was a good thing. I'm gonna send it to you. It's gonna be great.
I'll read it. You send it to me after this. So yeah, one last thing and we'll get out of here. So yeah, again, we'll be recording an episode here live on YouTube Sunday night / early Monday morning. We'll be recording one after the Microsoft press event, and then we will be recording again late Monday night, early Tuesday morning into the wee hours of the morning after Sony's event, and we will talk about, see if Last of Us 2 was teased. We'll see if Max was right. And then look for the next day. On Tuesday would be episode 45. If you listen to our numbered episodes, which you should, look for episode 45. We will most likely break down Ubisoft and Nintendo there. The Zelda, probably mostly the Zelda demo, if I had to guess, in the first half of the episode. And then follow that up with week 3 of our favorite games segment. So we've got 4 episodes coming at you next week. So gonna be a fun week. It's definitely one of my favorite weeks of the year since starting this podcast. It's definitely gotten even more enjoyable to go talk about it afterwards, after watching everything that happens. So it's gonna be a fun week next week. We hope you guys join us.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah, please tell your friends.
Logan's having a crisis.
Yeah, we'll be here next week, and we will be talking about all things video games. So
E3
for this predictions episode, we'll be coming back at some point and seeing things we were right and wrong about. Probably, I would assume as we record our one-off episodes, like when we record our Microsoft episode, we'll see, hey, we were right about this, we were wrong about this. So be sure to listen to all of those episodes we got coming up soon. This is our favorite time of the year for the podcast, and it should be yours too. Follow us on the Twitters. As always, I'll do this still. Shows at MGS Podcast. I, Logan, am at Moreman12. Max is at Max the White on Twitter. You can email us at mgspodcast@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or concerns you have. Please let us know what you think is going to happen at E3, because there's about a bajillion different predictions you could have, and we would love to hear yours. You can also hit us up on Twitter with what you think is going to happen as well. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe the video below. We would appreciate it. Leave us a comment. Let us know what your predictions are down there, and we'll probably reply to you because we don't get a ton of comments, so it's easy to weed through them all. Besides that, I hope my voice sounded real good for you this week. If you're listening to MP3, think it did. Gonna try to cop this mic again next week for E3.
E3 hype.
Only a couple days away now. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. We appreciate it as always. We'll see you back next time you hear our voices. We'll be talking about things we've witnessed at E3. So it's going to be a good time. Until then, have a good last couple days before the madness begins. We love you. Bye-bye.
Have a good one. I need to sign off.
Bye, YouTubes. We'll see you soon next week. Don't forget to catch us. We've got a bunch of episodes coming up. Follow us on Twitter at MGS Podcast. We will be tweeting out the links before we start the shows. Look for one again Sunday night, Monday afternoon, and then Monday night as well. Until then, bye-bye. See you soon.